ஹலோ ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், வெல்கம் பேக் டு அவர் சேனல் ரிமிகாஸ் டைரி. இப்போது கனடாவில் வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா ஸ்ப்ரிங் சீசன் வந்து நடந்துகிட்ருக்கு. இங்கே கனடாவை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் எந்த சீசன் வந்தாலும் அது எல்லாத்துக்குமே வந்து ஒரு ஃபெஸ்டிவல் வச்சு செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. இப்போ வின்டர் அப்படின்னா வின்டர் ஃபெஸ்டிவல் செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுவாங்க, சம்மர் அப்படின்னா சம்மர் ஃபெஸ்டிவல் செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுவாங்க, சம்மர் முடிகிறப்ப சம்மர் ஃபேர்வெல்னு செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஓகே ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், இன்றைக்கி வந்து இந்த வீடியோவில் வந்து நீங்கள் வசந்த கால திருவிழா தான் பார்க்க போகிறீங்க. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி நீங்கள் செய்ய வேண்டிய ஒரே ஒரு சின்ன விஷயம் வந்து கண்டிப்பாக நம்ம சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள். ஆல்ரெடி சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணி சப்போர்ட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கிற நம்ம ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாருக்குமே ரொம்ப ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ்.
Something, I'm pretty confident. What we are looking for, we're looking for the rainbow trout that's up on the wall there. So he's got the pink stripe on the side, that's what we're going to try and catch, okay? So again, sorry, we'll get that there. So one hand there, one hand on the reel, and I'm going to help you with this high-tech fishing rod because this thing looks cutting edge, right? So if you want to start turning your hands, we'll go this way. Oh, sorry.
அதே மாதிரி கனடாவை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஏதாவது ஃபெஸ்டிவல் அப்படின்னு வந்துருச்சுன்னா வெதர்லாம் வந்து கன்சிடர் பண்ணவே மாட்டாங்க. ஏன்னா நம்ம இருக்கிற பிளேஸ் வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா பிரிட்டிஷ் கொலம்பியா, வேன்கவர் சரௌண்டிங்ஸில் வந்து வருஷத்தில் மோஸ்ட்லி வந்து நமக்கு ரெய்னி டேஸாக தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ வேன்கவர்னாலே ரெயின் கவர்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, அதே மாதிரி தான். நம்ம குட்டி பாப்பா பாருங்கள், சைக்கிளே வந்து ஸ்மூதிலாம் பண்ணுறாங்க. கனடாவில் வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா எல்லா சீசன்ஸுமே வந்து ரொம்பவே என்ஜாய் பண்ணுவாங்க, வெல்கம் பண்ணுவாங்க, அதையும் வந்து ஒரு செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. அது வந்து ரொம்பவே ஒரு நல்ல விஷயம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். இந்த ஃபெஸ்டிவல்ஸில் வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா கிட்ஸுக்கும் சரி பெரியவங்களுக்கும் சரி நிறையா வந்து கேம் ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கும், சின்ன சின்ன மோட்டிவேஷன் கிஃப்ட்ஸ் கூட கொடுப்பாங்க, நிறையா பிளான்ஸ் எல்லாம் கூட கொடுப்பாங்க. ஸ்ப்ரிங் அப்படின்றதுனால பிளான்ஸை வளர்க்கணும் அப்படின்றதுனால பிளான்ஸ் நிறையா வந்து கொடுப்பாங்க. இது போக வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா ஃபேஸ் டேட்டூஸ்லாம் போட்டுடுவாங்க கிட்ஸுக்கு வந்து. ஸோ ரொம்பவே வந்து நல்லாவே ஒரு என்டர்டைனிங்காக இருக்கும், நமக்கு டைம் போகிறதே தெரியாது, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்.
So fruits and vegetables is really healthy for our bodies. What is your favorite fruit? Orange. That's a good one. Good job.
Awesome, thank you so much. I want to try again.
Here, how about you hold the flower? And then you can hand it back to me after, okay?
நெக்ஸ்ட்டு வந்து ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான விஷயம் தான் நீங்கள் பார்க்க போகிறீங்க. சீ டோம்குள்ளே தான் நம்ம இப்போ போயிட்டுருக்கோம்.
Maybe you've never been before. I do a favor to ask you. I'm going to be talking throughout the program. There's no sound. It's just me talking, unfortunately. And I just ask that you please be respectful of me and the rest of your friends and just making sure that we're listening and not talking. I also understand there's a lot of talking outside of them that's very distracting, but just try your best. And if you ever can't hear me, just let me know when I will speak up, okay? Okay, so the first thing we're going to take a look at are some salmon. Salmon are pretty amazing. They do a really good job of connecting inland communities with the ocean. As a lot of you probably already know, salmon travel from rivers all the way to the ocean and back. And they're pretty amazing. And we're also just going to take some time to think about how lucky we are to live near the ocean. We take this program across Canada. We meet tons of kids, we meet tons of people way before we were around. Okay, now we're leaving the Earth, taking us outer space. Kind of guess in your head, what planet am I going to? It's kind of hard to tell that this planet actually has a very large impact on the Earth and on the ocean. If you guessed the moon, you'd be correct. I don't know if you knew this, but the moon has such a strong gravitational pull that it's actually the reason that the ocean has tides, like low tide and high tide. It's also the reason that the ocean has waves a lot of time. So, moon's pretty impactful in the ocean, even though it's many, many light years away. Okay, we're going back to Earth. Except I'm not going to take us home. I'm not going to take us back to Surrey. I'm not taking us back to Vancouver. I'm taking us to Mexico. And the reason I'm taking us to Mexico is because there's some really interesting things in the waters in this area. Some things that are not around here at all. And that's because it's pretty warm in Mexico. It's really tropical, and there's a lot of interesting predators in that area that really allow for these things to kind of develop new strategies. Okay, one of my favorite things is, you'll see in a second, cuttlefish. So cuttlefish, as you can see over here, they are a type of mollusk. So a mollusk is something like a squid, and these guys are all in that same family. And under that large upper part of their body, they actually have a shell under there. I know it's kind of surprising, but there is, in fact, a shell under there. And just like a squid, they can spray into their predators and prey. And they have 2 arms and 8 tentacles. Another interesting thing about them is that they actually kind of tell they're changing their colors. They're camouflaging, and they're also kind of distracting their predators. they can kind of distract their predator, and while their predator is distracted by the color change on their back, they can kind of escape, or they can actually distract their prey so that they can eat them. This is something called a nudibranch. Nudibranch are interesting. They're only about the size of my finger or your finger, and they can come in all different shapes and colors. Their tentacles are actually to kind of filter the ocean water in very small scales. Okay, so you'll see this jellyfish. If you look at its tentacles, you're going to notice that it's actually eating another jellyfish. So it's a fried egg jellyfish eating a moon jelly. I know, it's surprising to hear that jellyfish eat other jellyfish sometimes. And I have a picture, I'm going to pull it up, of a sea turtle. So this is kind of a really good example of a sea turtle in an ecosystem that's not very healthy. The corals don't look very clean. They're not thriving, they're not alive. And the reason I say that is because there's not a lot of bright colors. They look to be covered in algae. And there's also not a lot of fish in the area. If there's not a lot of fish, there's probably not a lot of food. In comparison, this reef that I'm showing you now is a lot healthier. There's all those bright colors that I mentioned. And you're also going to see all those fish. Because like I said, fish means food, right? Fish follow the food. So this is a much healthier ecosystem. If you've ever heard of coral bleaching, that was kind of what I was referencing in that last photo. Okay, this is one of my favorite fish in the ocean, and it happens to be the largest fish in the entire ocean. It's called a whale shark. Whale sharks are kind of funny though, because they're not a whale, and they're not a shark at all. They're just a really big fish. So whoever named them was a little confused. They kind of look like a whale, I suppose, basically. They're actually filter feeders though. They don't even have teeth in their mouths. They just really eat whatever around them. And this is a bunch of reef sharks. So reef sharks are the apex predator of the tropical reef system. That means they're at the top of the food chain. Nobody else is going to eat them. And they're pretty spectacular looking. And they seem a lot scarier than they are. And actually sharks don't even like humans. Sharks think that humans taste bad. They don't really like to eat them at all. These are manta rays, another filter feeder. Their mouths are always open like that because they actually cannot close their mouths. They stay open all the time. Okay, I'm taking us away from Mexico. Our vacation was fun, but it's time to get back to reality and back to home. And as we looked up, I want you to think about how much of the Earth is actually the ocean. I'm sure that you've heard this before, but about 70% of our globe is ocean. And only 3% of the water on the Earth is actually drinkable and fresh water. So that kind of presents a really interesting predicament of having a lot of water, but not a lot of drinkable water. Because as we get closer to home, it gets cloudier and cloudier depending on Earth. Okay, welcome back to the Lower Mainland, everyone. So you can see that light blue river, that's actually the Fraser River, and it kind of exits and outlets all the way out in Richmond area and kind of into Surrey. So you'll notice that it's kind of like Tawasin there, and then Surrey is just over here. It's kind of hard to tell, but kind of get the idea. So all the things we're seeing next are things that we're used to seeing in our local environment. So when we breathe in our oxygen, I feel like a lot of us think that our oxygen mostly comes from things on land, like trees and forests. But the reality is the majority of our oxygen, 70% actually, comes from the ocean. Things like algal help produce a lot of oxygen for us. Things like phytoplankton. So the ocean, we have lots to be thankful for, but the ocean gives us a lot of our oxygen. This is my friend, the sea lion. They're super cute. The fun thing about sea lions is they're not very shy. So this diver was probably their really first time getting to the sea lion. And something that's interesting, like a way to decide, to figure out if it's a seal or a sea lion is looking at its ears. So you'll see that the sea lion actually has ear flaps, kind of like a human does, but seals will just have an ear hole. People always think that sea lions are bigger, but that just because the sea lion doesn't make it, it's automatically bigger. It depends on the species, where they live, how much they're eating, and what types of food they're eating. And if you've ever been around sea lions, you can probably know that they're very loud and obnoxious. Okay, this is an interesting video. So right now we're kind of looking at all of these very small fish called northern anchovies. And in a second, we're going to see humpback whales do a bubble net feed. So they blow bubbles around the fish, and that kind of gets all the fish to come to the center. And then you'll see the whales come up from the bottom and take a big bite of the water. And there's bubbles, and they are the humpbacks. out, takes care of her eggs. Once her eggs hatch, she will actually die. Kind of like they said, once they lay their eggs, they start to die. And this is a school of fish. So fish swim in a big school like this because they actually, they are safer in numbers, right? It's easier to stay alive if you're with a big group rather than all by yourself. Because ocean predators often have really bad eyesight. If they see a big blob, they're going to assume that it's something bigger than they are and not a bunch of smaller things. Okay, this is a bluemose anemone reef. So all of these white things, they are bluemose salmon. So this is in the northern coast of Vancouver Island. The water is very, very cool here. It's almost getting close to Alaska. And this is, you might recognize these fish, Nemo and Dory. And just like in the movie, they actually do hang out together. And they also hang out in around sea anemones. Okay, everyone say bye to the earth. See you later. So that was the end of the program. And as we continue the program, I want
ஓகே ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், சீடோம் எல்லாருமே பார்த்து நல்லாவே என்ஜாய் பண்ணியிருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நம்ம குட்டி பாப்பா செஞ்ச கிராஃப்ட் ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ், நெக்ஸ்ட்டு வந்து பாருங்கள், இது வந்து ரொம்பவே ஒரு எக்ஸைட்டடான விஷயம்னு சொல்லலாம். தோரணம் வந்து நம்ம தான் யூஸ்வலாக வந்து ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸில் தொங்க விடுவோம். பட் இங்கே வந்து எப்படி செய்யணும் அப்படின்றதே வந்து சொல்லித்தராங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட்டு வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா, ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான ஸ்டாலுக்கு தான் போகிறோம். நம்ம ஹனி ஸ்டால் தான். ஹனி பீஸ்லாம் எப்படி இருக்குன்னு பாருங்கள். இங்கே வந்து ஹனி வந்து வெரைட்டி ஆஃப் ஹனி வச்சுருந்தாங்க. பொதுவாக வந்து நம்ம பார்த்திங்கன்னா எல்லா ஃப்ளவர்ஸ்லேருந்தும் எடுக்கிற மாதிரி, வைல்டு ஃப்ளவர்ஸ்லேருந்து எடுக்கிற மாதிரி தான் நம்மளுக்கு வந்து ஹனி வந்து அவைலபிளாக இருக்கும். பட் இங்கே வந்து செப்பரேட்டாக வச்சுருந்தாங்க. ப்ளூபெர்ரி ஃப்ளவர்ஸ்லேருந்து எடுக்கிற மாதிரி ஹனி, க்ளோவர் ஹனி, அப்புறம் வந்து க்ரீம்டு க்ளோவர் ஹனி, அப்புறம் வைல்டு ஃப்ளவர்ஸ்லேருந்து எடுக்கிற மாதிரி ஹனி, அப்புறம் காடமம் ஃப்ளேவர் கூட மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி ஹனி வச்சுருந்தாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய வெரைட்டி ஆஃப் ஹனி வந்து இங்கே இருந்தது.
keep going because we're gonna get all the line off of here. Okay, so we'll stop there. And then we're gonna try and catch a fish, okay? I think it's getting close. Oh, maybe you just if you lift this hand up just a little bit. I think you might have caught something. Do you want to try and reel it in? So we'll reel it in again here with this hand. So we'll turn our hand on this. Perfect. You're doing great. You're doing great. We're fishing. We're fishing. We're catching something, I think. It looks like you caught something.
Good job.
I'm going to hold on to the rod. And if you want to grab the fish off the line, because this is your catch. It's not my fish. This is your fish.
There we go.
So I'll leave you with this. If you want to pull that off. So, what kind of fish did we catch? We caught ourselves a rainbow trout. That's Travis. It's got the pink stripe down the side. This is the fish we were looking for. So you caught Travis.
Or you can use this for
What is it? What does it say?
ஓகே ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், இந்த வீடியோ எல்லாருமே பார்த்து நல்லாவே என்ஜாய் பண்ணியிருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், நம்ம சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள். பை ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ்.